temperatures start to rise and the days lengthen, you might start to notice that your spinach looks a little funny. Often this happens fast. Maybe over the course of a day you notice that seed heads start to develop at the top of the spinach, or maybe you wake up one morning and the plant has shot up overnight. Hi, I'm Valerie with Now Gardening, and today I'm here with you between rainstorms to talk about bolting spinach. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we have had some strange weather this year. We went from floods in January to droughts in the middle of March, I believe it was, to now last week we were hitting high temperatures for this time of year. And now today I'm in a long sleeve shirt and I could really have a jacket on because it's windy and a little bit chilly, and we're having one rainstorm after another. Are you guys also having weird weather this year? Let me know in the comments down below and we can commiserate together. Bolting can be caused by a few different things, but the primary culprits are these two. One is the temperature. If your temperatures start to get above 75 degrees Fahrenheit or about 23 degrees Celsius, spinach will often start to bolt. Or the days are getting longer and the plants are being exposed to more sunlight. Depending on where you live, you'll probably start to notice that your spinach starts to bolt in late spring or early summer. You can see behind me this bed that was so nice a couple of months ago with peas and coriander and spinach is all just a big mess right now because most of it is going to seed. And that's okay because that's what we're here to talk about today. The one thing we have to remember is that spinach is a cool weather plant. It really thrives in the springtime and in fall conditions. We can encourage it to grow in less than ideal conditions by planting it in a shady spot or making sure it receives plenty of water. But in the end, we're fighting against the nature of this plant and its own built-in life cycle. I had a great spinach harvest, I have to say, but afterwards I was still a little greedy. I wanted more spinach. I wasn't quite ready for it to go to seed, and so I decided to plant a new line, give it a nice shade under my tomato plants, and try to trick Mother Nature into letting me get one more small harvest at least. You can see that some of them are growing. They haven't bolted yet, but overall, if you compare these to the spinach that I was growing in the springtime, whenever it was really the ideal conditions for them, you'll see that they don't compare at all. So my message to you is this: really the best thing to do is to plant them during the time of year that they want to grow. But let me know in the comments down below if you have any tricks or techniques for keeping spinach from bolting longer into the season. So now we've talked about what is bolting spinach and what you can do about it. Moving on, how can you make the most of spinach when it bolts? There's a couple of different ways. The first is just to remind you that the bolting spinach is still edible, although the longer it's left to bolt, it will start tasting more and more bitter. Seed heads especially are bitter. So what I typically do is cut off the bolting spinach at the bottom of the stalk, and then when I'm preparing it, I simply remove the seed heads, chop it up, and then I either make a nice spinach saute or I make an omelet. When I harvest the bolting spinach though, the one thing that I make sure to do is not to cut it all, which brings me to the second thing that you can do with bolting spinach, which is to save the seeds. So you might remember this was all spinach plants before. There's a lot of stuff going on in this bed, but I'm just going to ask you to focus on a couple of different things. These plants, which look terrible right now, but I kept them for a reason, and these couple of plants here. Now I don't know if you recognize them, but these are actually both spinach plants. And the reason they look completely different now is because this one is female and this one is male. Before the plants start to bolt, we really can't tell whether a spinach plant is male or female. It's only once it develops and these really turn into like flowers that have a lot of pollen on them, and these develop seeds, that we realize which ones are male and which ones are female. And you have to have actually both of these in your bed in order for the seeds to be viable. I will post a link to a video up above when these are ready, and I'll show you how to collect the seeds so that you'll have those for next season. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, please click like or leave a comment down below. And if you haven't joined me already, please click on subscribe so that we can grow together. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.